You may be qualified, but quite frankly, I don't think you're my type. Well, you're eminently qualified, unless there might be Charlotte Flair.
The Queen! Whoa! Yes, it is!
Welcome everyone to Ring the Bell. This is DS.
And it's Racha Muchacha, Paloma Star.
So my quarantine in Korea is finally over. They take 2-week quarantine very seriously, but it's done. I'm partying with my family, not really with other people because COVID is still here. For that reason, this video is going to be pretty short and sweet. I'm just letting you know. Let's start with the SmackDown Women's Championship. Carmella, the diva-licious Carmella versus the boss, the fan award sweeper, the server, Sasha Banks.
What a match. I would totally stand up and give these ladies a standing ovation if I wasn't wearing pajama bottoms right now, because that was a really good match. That is the best Carmella has looked since ever. Quite honestly, she had no ring rust, even though she hasn't been in the ring. But then again, she was facing Sasha Banks, who could have a great match with nobody or a ghost or brooms. She could literally make anybody look like $1 million. But it was a great match all around. I really enjoyed it. There was so many spots to me. So I'm glad they both showed up and pulled out, and it was awesome.
The thing about Carmella is that people don't take her too seriously. Honestly, I hated her her only championship reign. I hated that. But this year alone, she had amazing 2 SmackDown Women's matches with Bayley earlier this year. I feel like a lot of people forgot about that. She really stepped up the game. I agree with you. This is probably the best I've seen from Carmella.
For sure, definitely. And I also like how she can be put in different roles. Like, she was really entertaining with R-Truth. Unfortunately, with the we're not going to mention him, that was actually kind of entertaining what they were doing for a little bit there with Mr. Turtle dude. But now I feel like stepping more into the wrestler side of her, because I always feel like we saw her as like an addition to, and also, but now I feel like she's featured more and she's doing a really, really good job. I am going to ask about her gimmick though. Is it part of her gimmick to keep on fixing her stuff?
Maybe.
Because girl, like, she just kept on messing with those thigh-high legging things. She kept on messing with her elbow things. And like Kane, I always remember him fixing his elbow pad, even though it wasn't falling. So I'm like, well, maybe that's part of her character. Like, she's a diva-ish, put together. She's like all wants to make sure she looks good. So maybe she keeps on fixing herself, or maybe just her shit kept on falling. Is this part of her gimmick, or is she really doing this?
Let's talk about the gimmick a little bit, because even like Joey brought this up a couple times in our Patreon exclusive Discord. I just wasn't very sure what it was at first, but since the last couple SmackDowns where she was actually incorporating her gimmick, now that she has Reggie, the sommelier, the attack with the champagne, the entrance, the new movesets she added, and like even in this match, how Reggie interacted with the match, I think it's clicking for me. Even though there's not too much explanation of where this came from, I think this is awesome.
We don't need to have the whole explanation right away. I think it's good to have a foundation, and I think each time we see her, she's building it, so we don't have to know anything and everything that her gimmick is. And I think it leaves room for growth and room for interpretation and room for changing things. If it's not working, she could change it. I'm with you. At first I'm like, so it's basically just Carmella again when I first saw her, but like you said, the little changes I think is what helps. So I'm excited to see if it goes even further, like if they really push it there, if this is just as like the gimmick progresses.
Yeah, because when I saw that champagne spot at first, I gagged so hard. So I think she's having a lot of fun with this new gimmick. She's being creative in and out of the ring, so I'm super excited to see what she does next. Oh my god, all the pacing in this match, the false finishes, the submission transitions, it was just so juicy.
I need to specifically point out the most devastating X Factor I've ever seen in my life. Oh my gosh. Give it up to Sasha, because that's definitely mainly the person taking it, but she spiked it. It was perfect. As a wrestler, you don't look good if your opponent doesn't look good. Because if you beat somebody that doesn't look good in the ring, who are you really beating? Like, if you win, what does it really matter if the person across the ring for you looks like the shits? But I feel like Sasha is such a good wrestler and always delivers good matches because she always makes sure that her opponents look good. Like, you don't look good in the ring if your opponent doesn't look good in the ring. It's a two-person job. It's a two-person dance. So I think she really made sure that Carmella, anything that she hit her with, she sold great. Like that X Factor. Oh my gosh, I watched it so many times when she just spiked her head so good. And she sold it well. It was It was awesome. I'm so glad that she did that.
Shout out to Sasha. She's probably the only person that can wrestle Boba Fett from Star Wars and Carmella on the same week. It was legendary week for her. And yes, we talk about this all the time, but the way she just changes up her style for everyone that she wrestles with, so freaking good.
That spot where Reginald catches her, he's literally like saved her life. Like she was about to land like neck first, head first, outside of the ring, but that last minute catch, I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. And I also kind of like he's more of a addition as opposed to a main focus, because I feel like a lot of the times when you see a female male pairing of any type, it's usually like the focus is one person, but he's just mainly used as like, oh, and also as opposed to like a focus, we don't know too much of him. I think this is the first week he even has a name. Is he signed? Is he just an extra dude? I don't even know. So I just kind of like that he's solely there to help Carmella or push her and like be an asset as opposed to take the attention or the spotlight away from her. So I really like that WWE's doing that.
We also have to briefly talk about their looks because they both served. The Wet Ass Princess inspired, Kylie Jenner inspired look. I freaking loved it.
I loved it too. And then also, I'm just jumping a little bit ahead of myself, but just want to point out, like, every single woman in this show had a gold beige type of attire, except for like Carmella, I guess. Did everybody get the memo? Let's all wear gold today. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. The champagne gear on Sasha Banks. Oh wow. The nude illusion.
I love that. So good. And I think she got a new weave too, because she had different like two-tone blue hair in her hair, I think. So both look great and wrestled even better too.
So what do you think is next for Sasha and Carmella?
I would like to see them in a stipulations match. Maybe even, quite honest, as weird as it sounds, almost a submission match, because they were really putting over her code of silence submission hold, which I always thought was cool. The only thing that I don't like is that she has to grab her foot to really lock it in. It adds a little bit more to it, but also when she grabs it, she's like barely touching it like this. Like I want her like grab it, like really grab it and really hold it in. And I mean, they both have really significant submission moves. While it'd be crazy to even think about that you would want to see Carmella in a submission move, I think that just shows how much she's grown. But they're really putting that move over. So maybe that I don't think I'm ready for this feud to be over, because I feel like they bring out another banger for sure.
The Code of Silence was used so well. The Wings of Saturn that she pulled out, I was like, Carmella.
Okay.
I said this multiple times. I want Bianca versus Sasha for WrestleMania. That's what I want. But until then, Carmella, you got a couple more shots in you.
Isn't it crazy that's about to be Royal Rumble season, and then right after that, WrestleMania season? Crazy.
And then we got the Legends Night where Alicia Fox, Melina, and they're all gonna zoom in, I'm guessing.
You know, ratings are bad when they have a Legends Night. They always bust out a Legends Night when ratings are bad.
So let's move to the next match. We've got Team Shania, Nia Jax, and Shayna Baszler.
Shayna Baszler.
I love when you do that.
And we've got the challengers, Asuka, the Raw Women's Champions, don't forget about that, and the mystery partner, Charlotte Flair.
We need Charlotte Flair.
I mean, I'm not mad about it, but like, I feel like, who else could it have been? Honestly, like, of course, everybody wanted her to be anybody but Charlotte, but realistically, who else could it have been? As much as people want to hate on her, and it's cool to hate on her, especially all the internet fans, but Charlotte is a star. Pull out great matches with anybody and any time. So there's no denying that. And while it is kind of annoying that she came back and first thing she does is win a title, I can kind of see why they did it, even though I am kind of annoyed with it.
So I want to talk about the annoying part first, because I've been annoyed for the last 2 to 3 months of WWE booking because they literally pushed Lana so freaking much, where they used both Tag Team Championship and Raw Women's Championship to prop up this one person, which I like Lana, but like, that's too much. Let's be honest, that's too much. Yeah. And then the promo package was all about Lana too. Wait, was Lana even on Raw? She wasn't.
Nope.
I did hear news, I don't think it was confirmed, but there are some news about saying that Lana is like injured, but I don't know if it's real or not. I don't know, I just feel like I wasted a lot of weeks.
There was no payoff. There was literally no payoff, like that big old build-up storyline what they were doing with Lana, and there was literally no payoff whatsoever. Like, I feel like when people are always like complaining, would you rather have Charlotte win the tag titles or would you have Lana win the tag titles? I don't know the answer to that.
My answer is honestly Lana. Like, she doesn't need this. But I want to talk about the other side, is that the moment she came in, this match seemed like a big deal. She had no ring rust. She looked great. The match was fun, exciting. You can't take that away from her.
I quite honestly don't think that Lana could have brought the same presence, the same level of wrestling yet. I'm not saying that she can't be there, but maybe just not at this moment. Definitely, like you said, Charlotte brings a big match feel versus Lana would have been like, okay. But I do agree, though. I feel like we got all that built up for nothing, quite honestly. Like, I wanted some sort of payoff. I don't know if I necessarily wanted her to win the tag titles with Asuka, but I just wanted some sort of payoff for sure with the whole Lana storyline. I feel like it was very unfinished. Like, you did all this work for nothing.
Nothing. I feel like most we'll get is Lana eliminating Nia from Royal Rumble, probably, right?
Yeah, probably, if that.
I mean, are we going to get, like, Lana versus Nia Jax at WrestleMania?
No.
Maybe at kickoff. Let's briefly talk about the match and then talk about how we feel about this championship change.
It was a good match. I think it was a definitely, I keep on saying this and I feel like I'm shitting on Lana, but I feel like it was a way better quality match as opposed to if Lana was in it. But I think there was some really good spots. Everybody looked pretty decent. Nia, not so much selling her usual. I mean, she sold a little bit. She needs to watch Sasha on selling or something. Like, because I think it's kind of hard too. Like, I know that's a rough comparison, but whenever you just watch a great selling match with Sasha, then you go watch this and you're just like, oh.
Which, like, big wrestler is, like, a good reference for Nia to look at?
That's a good question. It's kind of hard because I feel like, oh, she shouldn't sell because she's taller and stronger and bigger than everybody. But I feel like if you're still getting hit or punched in the face, you're still going to sell it, like, or at least register it no matter what, you know? I mean, I would say maybe even Piper Niven. And NXT UK would be a good one because and every time I see her in the ring, I never say, oh my gosh, she's not selling.
I do have to say about Nia, though, she looked freaking gorgeous when she came out.
They're so beautiful.
So beautiful. With that golden gear, she looked so good. And I love that Shayna and Nia, they, like, match. I love it.
I know. I kind of wish, like, they really have, like, these conversations and, like, Nia's all excited to match and Shayna's like, okay, sure. But Shayna looked great, too. And I love that the different variations of gear that you get in with Shayna because I feel like she's not going to stray away too much from her original look. But I like the little cutouts that they're adding, the glitter and stuff. So it's cute. Both of them looking good.
So obviously the format of this match is Asuka being the
beatdown person. They put the heat on them. So obviously, like, you know, in every tag match, there's one person who gets beat down by the heels. And then there's another person who gets the hot tag where after the double down, they come in and clear house.
The entire match was obviously built to welcome Charlotte Flair with the open arms. During the match, I was like, wait, oh my god, I forgot Asuka's the Raw Women's Champion. She is the top of this division. And I'm just like, what are they doing with Asuka?
The only thing that I hope comes out of this is that Charlotte says, all right, give me a chance at your title now since I helped you out at TLC. And if we have another Charlotte and Asuka program, I'm not mad at that because those matches are going to be so good. Would I want somebody else in that position? Yeah, of course. But I think what I want more than that is to have the Raw Women's title mean something again. And if it means doing this, then so be it. But I just feel like that, like you mentioned time and time before, there has not been a solid storyline or opponent or really credible challenger to Asuka in forever. I know it's great achievement, but I'm really tired of double champions.
Agreed.
It's not even special anymore. And for some reason, WWE keeps on doing it in the women's division. I mean, when was the last time there was a dude double champion? I don't even know. I'm sure somebody knows, but I just feel like if you keep on doing it, it doesn't make it special anymore. I always feel like whenever it's a double champion, one of them has to take the back seat for a little bit. And as any title, it should mean something and should not take a back seat to quite honestly anything.
On top of that, Asuka's in that babyface hell where she's like best friends with everyone. So just a couple of weeks ago, she was best friends with Lana. But this time she's like, Charlotte Flair, best friends in Japanese.
友達友達友達
I was just like, This sucks.
You have some more motivation besides being best friends. Come on, Asuka.
Charlotte Flair obviously did all her classic stuff, moonsault off the top, natural selection, all of it. Crazy audience reaction, obviously, which was piped.
Yeah.
Piped.
Yeah.
Did you notice that? It was so loud when Charlotte.
Loud.
Flair moonsault. A 2-for-1 special Jack.
To the point where I'm like, wait, is there people there? Like, that's how loud it was. I'm like, all right, y'all, we get it. We know what you're trying to do here. Because they knew everybody's going to have the same reaction when they saw Charlotte come back and win a title right away. They knew that was going to be it. So I'm guessing that's why they did that. But quite honestly, if anything, it just annoys people more.
You're like, volume all the way up. Annoying.
I'm kind of over random people being tag team partners. You know, I thought it was Shayna and Nia was a random pairing, but they kind of weirdly worked. So, but I'm just like so tired of random people being tag partners, and I'm tired of real tag teams being broken up. Also, I just want to say that it's not the best look whenever we spend more time talking about the people and the results of the match as opposed to the actual match, because I feel like I don't want to say distracted, but more focused on Charlotte coming back and the outcome of it as opposed to the actual match. I mean, the match was fine. I don't think it was like great or like bad or anything. It was just fine. I mean, I think it had a little bit to shine, but I feel more people are talking about Charlotte coming back, what happened, as opposed to the actual match.
It's just Charlotte Flair came back and it's the same shit. Ric Flair was there to watch her. She won another title. Same shit.
And like I said, I'm not denying her talent. She's definitely so good. Looks like a star, works like a star, walks like a star. But like I said, if this ends up being that the women's title means something again, and hopefully the tag titles mean something again, then I'm willing to ride this Charlotte wave yet again, if it means that.
Well, let's just hope that, because whenever we had random teams win this title, I was always like, this is going to make tag team title mean something.
Yeah, we keep on saying that, and it never
happened. Hasn't happened yet.
Can we talk about Billie Kay for a little bit? Her backstage segment with Asuka was so good.
So good.
So good. It was funny. It was memorable. It was right on the Billie Kay brand of ridiculously entertaining. And I just love how she's like, oh, let me add that to my resume. She legit just squiggles a line and she turns it around. It's literally a line squiggle. And then it was really cute how like Asuka was like super supportive and like, oh, okay. It's like whenever you go to a legit interview and they're like, oh, okay, this is great. But we decided to go with somebody else more qualified. And that was Charlotte Flair. But it was cute. It's like, oh, and she's all happy and excited. And then you're not ready for Asuka. But more of Billie Kay in general in my life I would be very happy if I see more of her. Even more interactions like that. You don't see that a lot from a character who really just possesses and goes for it. I just hope they give her more of a chance.
I want her as a general manager of SmackDown. She's that good. Yeah. She can carry the entire show. I think so. Yeah.
Totally agree. And she's so funny. She knows exactly what to say. And I feel she's probably really good at like ad-libbing and improv, it seems like. So I think her being a general manager would make for great TV. And also just want to throw this out there. I really hope Naomi joins the Hurt Business. That'd be great. I just want Naomi to do something.
Let's also hope Riot Squad will take that title away from them real quick.
Come on! Like an actual tag team! Yay!
Alright, so that is our TLC review. Hope you liked our short and sweet, little bit of a rant. It was fun. It was definitely a fun pay-per-view. I actually really liked it.
Yeah, it was definitely lots of fun. It was definitely a fun pay-per-view to watch, even if somebody ended being burnt alive. So,
is Alexa okay?
Yeah, she's fine. She's on Raw. She showed up in a cute little outfit on a playground, so she's fine.
Paloma Star, where can we find you?
You can find me at Paloma Star on Instagram and Twitter. And if you want to see me wrestle in person, you can find me on January 2nd in Lima, Ohio for War against Queen Aminata for my women's title, which is going to stay here because I'm the real queen. So,
yes.
Yes. And DS, where can we find you?
You can find me at DS Shin and Ringdevel DS on Twitter and Instagram, but also you can find all of us on Patreon exclusive Discord channel. It's super fun. We talk all the time, so come join in.
It's so fun, and you could join at any level from the very lowest level to the very top level. We're literally on it all the time, and since DS is still in Korea, Korea. He's on it at crazy times. So if you're like up at random time, shoot over a message and somebody will respond. But lots of fun. Talk about anything and everything. It's so cool in there.
24/7 service for now.
For now.
Enjoy your holiday season, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Happy holidays.